Welcome everyone to the first quarter final of this fresh edition of India Quiz. For anyone who has any doubt about what India Quiz is, this is a general quiz tournament, but every question will be about India. So it is a general quiz with questions from history, sports, media, business, politics, history, geography, everything else, miscellaneous, culture, music, everything. But everything will be India specific. Okay. And growing up, India quiz was always my favorite kind of quizzing, and I'm so happy that we are doing an entire tournament around quizzing. On that note, I'm calling the first four quarterfinalists. The first quarterfinalist is someone who's been a winner before. He was the winner of Cricket and Football edition, has been a semi-finalist of General edition earlier, and he was also the very first contestant I've ever invited on Quizzing with the Comedians, first quarterfinal. Probably because alphabetically always comes first, almost always comes first. Give it up for Anirban Dasgupta.
Hello.
Hi Anirban. So nice to see you with new frame.
Yes.
How much life has changed since we started quizzing?
Oh man, quizzing just lockdown के अलावा भी quizzing करना KV is my request to you. Also, I again come as opening batsman to take the strike.
Yeah. All the best, Anirban. Always a pleasure to host you. On that note, our second contestant, he's been here earlier on Cricket and Football edition. One of my favorite people to share screen with. Mostly online. We've done so much stuff together, and I know him so well. I'm very excited to call him here, all the way from Delhi. Nishant Tanwar.
Thank you, Varun bhai. Thank you so much for making me part of this. क्योंकि मैं एक तो फर्स्ट राउंड के लिए आता हूँ, बता दूं दोस्तों पहले जो भी देख रहा है कि और ये पता होने के बाद भी कि भाई मतलब जगह देते हैं इस क्विज में कि कोई नहीं, ठीक है यार, जितना हो पाता कर लेना, देख लो. तो
मजा आता है इसलिए.
तो जैसे क्रिकेट मैचेस से पहले, हर एक मैच से पहले होता है ना प्रेडिक्शन, भविष्यवाणी, मैं तो उसके लिए भी आता हूँ. मतलब मैं आधा होस्ट हूँ क्योंकि मैं पार्टिसिपेट तो करने में हूँ नहीं.
क्या है फिर आपकी भविष्यवाणी, कौन है टॉप?
तो देखिए दोस्तों, फर्स्ट है अनिर्बान दास गुप्ता इस राउंड के भी, और शायद आखिरी के भी. और सेकंड में मुझे वरुण और शांतनु के बीच में वो है ना. और बाकी तो
केवी अभी ऑडियंस को बोला है कि स्पॉयलर्स मत दे, तो मैं स्पॉयलर्स देना चाहता हूँ कि मैं तो नहीं जीत रहा हूँ.
ऑल्सो साथ में मैं क्रांति भाई को भी कॉन्ग्रेचुलेट करना चाहूंगा ऑन द सक्सेस ऑफ चाचा विधायक. बहुत ही जबरदस्त काम. सो कॉन्ग्रेट्स भाई, बहुत जबरदस्त.
थैंक यू सो मच. चाचा के काफी लोग इस टूर्नामेंट में आने वाले. विकी माहेश्वरी और रॉनी पाठक सब आने वाले नेक्स्ट क्वार्टर फाइनल. गिव इट अप फॉर आवर थर्ड कंटेस्टेंट हु हैज बीन a part of quizzing earlier. He was finalist in movies edition and also a part of general editions earlier. Fantastic director, writer, actor. Give it up for Shantanu.
Hi KV, thank you for saying all those live. Hi Nishant, hi Anirban.
Hi.
हाँ, सेकंड का तो कोई चांस ही नहीं है भाई. वोट के भी नीचे कोई पोजीशन हो तो वो आ रहा हूँ मैं. Second.
Humble card, everyone. Well done, Shantanu. On that note, my namesake, one of those people who I always reach out for anything that I ever do. And massive shout out also because he got detected COVID positive recently, but he still agreed to do this. So not just a lot of wishes for speedy recovery, and give it up for Varun Thakur.
What's up, buddy? Hi. Yes, bro. मेरे को थोड़ा ये मिलेगा ना, कोविड डिस्काउंट मिलेगा ना क्वेश्चन में. मेरे को ऑप्शन दे देना 2-3.
Like Anil Kumble with a bandaged chin right now, ना वापस ऐड डालने.
मैं ये एडिशन जीत रहा हूँ ब्रो. मैं तो जीत रहा हूँ. I thought I'll go the other way around क्योंकि मैं usually वही बोलता हूँ कि मैं हारने वाला. अनिर्बान आ गया तो खत्म हो गया सी.
अरे यार.
But अभी मैं जीत रहा हूँ ये टाइम. देख के लिख के ले लो. मैं अपना सा पेन वेन भी लेके रेडी हूँ आज.
Yes. All the best to Anirban, Nishant, Shantanu, Varun. All of you know how this works.
Thank you.
Don't need to explain how this works. Question number 1 to Anirban. Anirban, we are talking about Indian participation in something. Indian participation in X began with 4 mule companies being sent off to France to assist the British Expeditionary Forces. The then Viceroy of India, Lord Linlithgow, did not consult the burgeoning Indian political leadership before doing so. The undemocratic inclusion in X led to Mahatma Gandhi launching the Y movement, which was a mass agitation against 200 years of British rule, which was suppressed in turn by brutal use of force, including firing on civilians and public floggings. I want you to tell me X and Y. essentially what is happening is India participated in it by sending 4 mule companies to support Britain. Okay, the British government had not sought our concurrence or our support for this, and Mahatma Gandhi, in return, started a new movement against British rule. I want you to tell me what Indian participation is being talked about. Like where did we participate, and what movement did Gandhi launch because of that?
Quit India movement.
Okay.
And X is World War II.
Correct. I know. Why were you waiting after World War to give me a reaction? Typical Anirban. 10 points to Anirban. This is the Second World War, and India was made a part of World War II without our agreement, and Gandhi launched the Quit India movement. Wow, 10 points to Anirban. Beautiful, beautiful start. Okay, going to Nishant Bhai now with question number 2. Nishant Bhai, I'm talking about an iconic place. It was built by the eminent British architect Sir Edwin Lutyens as the residence for Osama Ali Khan, the last Nizam. It is used by the government of India now for banquets and meetings with visiting foreign dignitaries. Name this iconic place. Okay, let's look at all the hints. It was built by Lutyens, so that will give you some direction.
दिल्ली में इतना तो समझ गया मैं.
Why was it built for? Was it built for as a residence for the last Nizam? That was the original purpose. Currently, it is used by Government of India for banquets and meetings whenever a foreign dignitary comes to India. What place are we talking about?
लुटियंस दिल्ली में ये नहीं पता था बैंक्वेट हॉल की तरह यूज हो रहा है. मतलब ऐसे बुफे वुफे लगता है प्रॉपर.
अरे हमारा कॉर्पोरेट शोज हो सकता है.
हाँ. इंडिया हैबिटेट सेंटर नहीं.
निशान हंसा मत यार, मेरे को हाफ नहीं होता है फिर.
ओह सॉरी.
Okay, Nishant bhai, any guess? कुछ guess?
बस 30 सेकंड और सोच लूं. मेरे दिमाग में क्या क्या आ रहा है. अंग्रेज क्या क्या बना के गए थे दिल्ली में. वो लाइक नहीं, कुतुब मीनार में तो अजीब लगेगा बैंक्वेट हॉल. लाल किले में तो अंग्रेज घुसने नहीं देते हम, कि बड़ी मुश्किल से निकाला था, वापस नहीं. तो क्या है, पार्लियामेंट है, कोई लाइब्रेरी है, क्या है ये? दिल्ली का नहीं आ रहा. सोच लो कुछ मुंबई का पूछ लिया तो क्या ही होगा. याद ही नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं. पास मतलब कोई.
Passing to Shantanu.
I also don't know the answer, but I will take a calculated guess and say
हाँ, तुम देख अगर सही आंसर दे दिया ना.
तीन मूर्ति भवन. No. Passing to Thakur.
ब्रो मेरे को एक याद था कि पार्लियामेंट बिल्डिंग बनाई थी लुटियंस ने. तो कोई ट्रिक क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा है क्या? आई एम जस्ट गोइंग टू से पार्लियामेंट बिल्डिंग बिकॉज़ आई डोंट नो द एक्चुअल आंसर.
No, not Parliament House. Anirban?
Hyderabad Bhavan.
I'll give it to you. Hyderabad House or Hyderabad Bhavan. Hyderabad House is correct. Last Nizam, and so Nizam was a hint to Hyderabad because Nizam was Nizam of Hyderabad. And Hyderabad House was made for his residence. And then now every foreign dignitary who comes, like Trump, वगैरह कोई भी आता है, all the main meetings and lunch and everything happens at Hyderabad House in Lutyens.
Right.
ये साइड में फोटोशॉप करके खड़ी की है.
हाँ, उनकी शादी पे ये अच्छा कमेंट्री है ये. Okay, cool. 10 points to Anirban. Back to Nishant bhai. From north, we move slightly to south. He was the chief designer of the flood protection system for the city of Hyderabad. He was the president of the 1923 session of the Indian Science Congress. The government's sandalwood oil factory, which manufactures Mysore sandal, was established by him when he was the Diwan of Mysore. Okay, who are we talking about? So let's look at all the hints.
Diwan of Mysore.
हाँ, दीवान ऑफ मैसूर वाज
यही तो आंसर है।
दीवान ऑफ मैसूर एक हिंट हो गया। मैसूर से कनेक्शन है, इंडियन साइंस कांग्रेस के प्रेसिडेंट थे, फ्लड प्रोटेक्शन सिस्टम वगैरह बनाया, उसके चीफ डिजाइनर थे। दैट विल गिव यू एन आइडिया ऑफ द जोन दैट दिस गाय इज पॉपुलर इन। वहां से
मतलब कोई तो पढ़ा लिखा इंसान था 23 में जिसको इतना पता था।
करेक्ट करेक्ट।
क्योंकि मुझे तो 2021 में नहीं पता। प्रीफिक्स डॉक्टर था क्या?
हो सकता है।
क्या क्या?
प्रीफिक्स डॉक्टर था क्या पूछ।
अच्छा,
बट हो सकता है, बट नहीं, डोंट थिंक डॉक्टर का शायद नहीं था prefix। हो भी सकता है।
नहीं, पास।
ओके, पासिंग टू शांतनु।
पास।
ओके, पासिंग टू ठाकुर।
सैंडलवुड देखा, मेरे को तो वीरप्पन याद आ रहा है, उसके अलावा कुछ। फिर देखा 1923 है, मतलब छोड़, वो तो
क्रेजी
नहीं
होगा अगर
होगा।
इंडियन साइंस कांग्रेस का प्रेसिडेंट वीरप्पन होगा।
शिट यार, आई कांट इवन मेक एन एजुकेटेड गेस, ये इतना टफ है।
वरुण सबसे पहले तो हाथ से पेन छोड़ फिर।
अरे थोड़ा इंटेलिजेंट बनने के लिए पकड़ा है हाथ में
पीछे
ब्रो।
पेपर नहीं है।
नहीं पेपर नहीं, आईपैड है।
अरे है, और क्वेश्चन है।
बुझाने के लिए।
शिट,
नो
इंडियन
प्रॉब्लम। ठाकुर, एनी गेसेस?
नो मैन,
ओके, पासिंग टू
सॉरी।
अनिर्बान।
चलो बता दो निर्माण क्या
नहीं
आंसर।
नहीं नहीं, I have a uneducated guess on an educated person. CV Raman.
Not CV Raman. Okay, we'll
ओहो।
take one more round with 5 points. Uh, hint for everyone is Engineers Day. Okay, he's so important that his birth anniversary is celebrated as Engineers Day.
Oh man.
He's probably India's most famous engineer in that sense from this era.
ये शांतनु बताएगा, मेरी तरफ से तो हो गया। इसने आंखें अब बड़ी आंखें की थी इंजीनियर्स डे सुनते ही।
नहीं
नहीं, निशांत भाई।
मैं तो
निशांत
कर
भाई,
दिया, पास
आपने
कर
कर
दिया।
दिया
पास
Okay,
हो गया।
okay.
हाँ नहीं चलो बढ़ा दो, वरुण वरुण के पास ही दो।
Okay.
नहीं नहीं, मेरे को तो आता ही नहीं है ब्रो, तू दो तीन चार और ले ले, फिर भी मैं ना ही बोलूंगा।
नहीं, क्योंकि ऐसे अनिर्बान ने ना ऐसे वो क्या था, फेस पाम किया। अरे
हाँ, ओके, ठाकुर पास।
पास पास ब्रो।
ओके, अनिर्बान।
Vishveshwarya.
विश्वेश्वरैया is correct. M Vishweshwaraya, 5 points to Anirban. Mokshagundam Vishweshwaraya, M Vishweshwaraya. Okay.
इसका
Divan of
है ना
Mysore.
कॉलेज, इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज, विश्वेश्वरैया इंस्टीट्यूट।
Yeah. Lot of engineering. There is MVIT in Bangalore named after.
गाइस मजा आ रहा है, बहुत कुछ सीखने मिल रहा है मुझे।
हाँ, नया पता चल रहा है।
निशांत, अपन सीख रहे हैं आज।
और सबसे बेस्ट बात क्या है, राउंड कैसे भी चले, हर बार नया क्वेश्चन मुझसे स्टार्ट होगा, क्योंकि लास्ट आंसर तो अनिर्बान ही देगा।
और अनिर्बान इज ऑन फर्स्ट नेम बेसिस विद विश्वेश्वरैया, लाइक इतना नॉलेज डीप जा चुका है। हाँ विश्वेश।
अरे मेरा ये इंजीनियरिंग का ओनली लर्निंग है।
Okay, next question. As Nishant Bhai said, will be direct to Nishant Bhai. His website states that he has sung over 36,000 songs in Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Hindi, and Malayalam, and holds
रहमान।
no, and holds the Guinness World Record for most number of songs rendered by a male singer. ID the person being listed. Not Rahman. Passing to Shantanu.
Hey, is it SPB?
Yes, it is SPB.
Half it I say.
फक, ये फाइनली एक क्वेश्चन का आंसर आया था, शांतनु वो भी ले लिया यार।
10 points to Shantanu. This is S.P. Balasubramanian, who passed away recently. Shantanu got S.P. Balasubramanian, so next direct will be to Varun. Varun, I'm talking about someone who was first buried in St. Francis Church, located in Fort Kochi, of the city of Kochi in Kerala. It is the oldest European church in India. However, due to the decision of his native country's king and a danger of vandalism in the tomb in India, 14 years after his funeral, his remains were moved to Lisbon and are now located at Hieronymus Monastery. Who is he? And you have the visuals also, if it helps. So this visual is from St. Francis Church, which is in Kochi. So someone died and he was buried in Kochi. But due to two reasons. One is that there was a danger of vandalism to his tomb. And second, his native country's king wanted the remains back. So around 14 years after his death, his remains were moved to Lisbon. And they are now in Lisbon, in a place called Hieronymus Monastery.
ये जो इधर प्लाक है इस पे जूम इन करना थोड़ा, शायद नाम लिखा होगा उस पे. I'm just gonna go out on a whim, and because it's Lisbon, is it Vasco da Gama?
It is. Kiske mama ki gun hai?
Yes.
Yes, great answer. It is Lisbon. Lisbon matlab Portugal. Portugal, Kerala, old times, vandalism. It is, of course, Vasco da Gama. Great answer.
His great grandkids were Maxi and Shirley, who used to get into gang fights. If you guys know what I'm talking about.
Sailaro.
Bichu gang.
Bichu and eagle. Nice. उन्हीं से vandalism का खतरा था इनको.
So फोड़ा बोला भाई शरद कपूर उधर तोड़ देगा, निकाल जल्दी निकाल. उसका करियर ठीक नहीं जा रहा है, वो गुस्सा निकालेगा अपने दादा पे. निकाल उसको.
करियर ठीक नहीं. Okay. Wow, great. Okay, now next question will be to Anirban. Anirban will be very, very happy because every bong becomes happy when they see this name. Rabindranath Tagore holds one of the unique records of writing national anthems for more than one country. Okay, he has written the national anthem for India and Bangladesh. Also, further, he often receives credit for the national anthem of another country, as one of his students wrote the national anthem because he was influenced by Tagore in the university founded by Tagore, and hence he inspired the music and lyrics of the anthem. In fact, there is a minority of people who think that Tagore wrote the anthem in full. Okay, which is the third country that we are talking about?
Minority is Bengalis actually.
100%, of course.
Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka is correct. 10 points to Anirban.
Wow.
Tagore has indirect credit for the national anthem of Sri Lanka as well, apart from very direct credit for Jana Gana Mana and Amar Sonar Bangla. Sri Lanka, this is a stamp in honor of Tagore.
Wow.
Okay, from Sri Lanka, from Tagore, we move to India's first general election. Nishant bhai, this is your direct. When India में जब पहली बार general election हुआ in 1951-52, the Election Commissioner of India, Shukumar Sen, directed his officials to delete the names of 2.8 million women from the election rolls, despite the fact that they were all legal voters. The explanation which was given was that these women had refused to do something as they had some religious and social tradition. What did they refuse to do? Basically, मुझे ये जानना है कि जब इंडिया में पहली बार इलेक्शन हुआ और वोटर रोल वगैरह बने, तो कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो गई क्योंकि कुछ ज्यादातर women refused to do something because of social tradition, religious tradition, etc.
मुंह
दिखाना, no. Passing to Shantanu.
What wasn't मुंह दिखाना?
Oh fuck, मेरे को भी लगा ना यार.
मेरे को लगा ऐसा आईडी और ऐसा कि नहीं चेहरा तो नहीं दिखाओ.
Good track.
हाथों में इंक लगवाना.
नहीं अब तो शांतनु का है.
अच्छा ओके.
हाथों में नहीं दिया.
ओके.
शांतनु.
हाँ. क्या है रिलीजियस सोशल ट्रेडिशन?
सती तो नहीं था.
रात को बाहर निकलना क्या था? रात को वोटिंग.
No. Is that your answer या जो करता मुझे पता है.
School. I don't know what religious tradition was holding them back from voting, man.
रात के 9 बजे तो वोट नहीं डाल पाएंगे.
नाम नहीं. नहीं पता नहीं.
Okay, passing to Thakur.
पता नहीं यार, हाथ से मेहंदी नहीं निकाल ली तो इंक नहीं दिख रहा था. I don't know.
Anirban.
So the name basically they used to like refer to themselves as like this person's husband.
Perfect answer. They didn't give their name. Okay, women in northern India were reluctant to give their names to officials, and that is why all of them registered their name as someone's mother, someone's wife, and would not refer to themselves as their own name or will not give their name. and that is why a lot of names had to be removed from the list. Great answer by Anirban.
Nice one, bro.
10 points.
उस टाइप का आधार कार्ड क्या ऐसा अजीब सा ही लगता है।
अरे चिंटू की मम्मी कहाँ जा रहे हो? अरे नहीं, मैं अभी मोनू की मम्मी से मिलने जा रही हूँ।
अमेरिकन पाई मूवीज में भी ये ट्रेडिशन है।
Stifler's mom.
Stifler's mom.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay. Last question in the first half of the quiz to audience. This is again to Nishant bhai. Now the answer to this question is a very famous phrase in Indian history. Okay. Which signified unbounded optimism. And that phrase, the Indian phrase, was inspired from a phrase which was coined by Professor Samuel Birand, and that was used in a 1936 Democratic National Convention by Franklin D. Roosevelt. Okay, so हम एक Indian phrase की बात करें जिसका inspiration इस speech से है. अब वो speech हम लोग पढ़ेंगे. There is a mysterious cycle in human events. To some generations, much is given. Of other generations, much is expected. This generation of Americans has a rendezvous with dash. So from this original line, another line is inspired in Indian history, very famous line. I want you to tell me the line which is famous in Indian history, which is inspired from this particular phrase.
अरे क्या वो डेस्टिनी वाली लाइन है क्या?
थोड़ा और बोलेंगे?
फ्रीडम एट मिडनाइट वाला जो वैसा?
Almost there. हल्का सा और आ जाएगा तो I'll give you full points. Otherwise I'll give you part. You are almost there.
क्योंकि उस टाइम पे ना इंग्लिश तो 2-3 लोग को ही आती थी अपने यहाँ।
Correct.
तो स्पीच तो उन्होंने पंडित जी की मेरे ख्याल से।
Yeah.
है ना?
हाँ.
Something with destiny ऐसा कुछ है ना?
Yes. अच्छा ठीक है, I'll give it to you. It's fair enough, good enough. It's the famous tryst with destiny.
Tryst with destiny.
But great answer. You got everything else right. It is the freedom at midnight speech.
उसके बाद हमेशा सिमी गारे वाली आता है दिमाग।
Yeah.
क्या?
Americans have a rendezvous with Simi Gare.
Okay. 10 points to Nishant.
Simi Garewal noises बनाओ सब।
So Shantanu.
10 points.
How did it feel?
Wow. Okay. That brings us to the end of the first half of the quiz. Quick check at score. Halftime score. Anirban is on 45. Okay. Nishant is on 10. Shantanu is on 10. And Varun is on 10. Okay. So right now Anirban is leading with a very handsome margin. 45.
हमारे मिला के भी नहीं हो रहा है निर्माण जितना।
But Nishant, Shantanu, Varun all are on 10, which means there's a fight for second, and 2 of you qualify. So the game is very much on, and half of the quiz is still.
हम tag team करके भी नहीं हरा सकते हैं निर्माण।
Okay, let's start with the second half. Match is still on for second position right now, and anything can happen. And 2 of you qualify, just to remind. So, and it doesn't matter. The points don't carry for semi-finals, so it doesn't matter. You just have to qualify. Okay, the order will be now Varun, Shantanu, Nishant, Anirban. This is Varun's question.
Yeah.
Varun, there is something which is, there are 10 in the world, okay? 5 photos that you see on the screen are 5 from a list of 10 in the world. What I want you to tell me is identify the one that is most famous in India. So, we're talking about something जो दुनिया में 10 है, इंडिया में भी एक है, बहुत famous, okay? उसमें से 5 I have shown on screen. Which is the one which is in India and really famous in India?
No, I have no idea what these buildings are. I don't know if it's a church or it's a where do Jewish people bring? What is a synagogue?
But remember, there are only 10 in the world. That will give all of you some direction. Because church or synagogue, there are like millions of them.
Correct. Is it again going out on a whim? Is it Aga Khan's temple by any chance?
No, not Aga Khan's temple. Shantanu?
Is this that Baha'i the Lotus temple?
Beautiful answer. It is Lotus
Baha'i.
temple.
Nice.
Bahaian places of worship. There are 10 Bahaian. All these 5 are Bahaian places of worship, and one in India is Lotus temple. also known famously in Andheri West as
Lotus petrol pump.
अरे हाँ
इधर मेरे घर से दिखता है bro.
Yeah, I know.
Shit, if only I had looked here, I would have said Lotus petrol pump. I still wouldn't have said the correct answer.
10 points to Shantanu. It is Lotus Temple. These are high-end places of worship.
Okay.
Super. Next, direct to Nishant bhai. We are talking about a certain person whose annual budget speeches had humble beginnings in 1958 in a small hall of a hotel called Green Hotel in Bombay. It was aptly said in those days that there were two budget speeches, one by the finance minister in Delhi and one by him. And his speech was undoubtedly the more popular and sought after. Which famous personality are we talking about? There's also an image on the screen with hints, little bit of hints here and there.
बिजनेसमैन शायद टाटा बिरला भी कुछ हो सकते हैं क्योंकि बजट से है, पर पीछे वो हथौड़ा और वो है तो कंफ्यूज हो रहा हूँ, पर मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि मैं टाटा के साथ कैस तो इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट अगर है तो टाटा बिरला में से कोई एक है, मेरा गेस टाटा ऐसा लग रहा है.
Okay, not Tata. Anirban?
Yes.
Okay. Thakur?
Was he Ratan Tata's father?
No. Passing to Shantanu.
नहीं, पास. और ये फेमस पर्सनालिटी का बार थोड़ा लो है आपका अमिताभ बच्चन is a famous personality, not this fucking
Okay, wow. Okay, we'll take one more quick round. This, of course, जैसे photo से Nishant bhai also said, he's a famous man in the world of like in
the world of budget speeches. In the
alternative budget speeches के दुनिया के सरताज.
Judiciary and economics. Okay, one of the biggest names in Bombay and India. Other interesting hint that I can give you is that he was a Parsi, and as we all know, Parsis usually have a surname that is something to do with their occupation, right? So his ancestors' occupation were something to do with palanquins. Okay, so those are 2-3 hints for all of you. We'll do one quick round.
What?
Palanquins, like
Yeah.
they used to make. Okay, starting with Nishant.
क्या मैं सीबीएसई बोर्ड से हूँ, मुझे नहीं समझ में पेलंक्विंस.
अब वही उसका हिंदी बोलेंगे तो वही आंसर है, इसलिए मैं अवॉइड कर रहा.
क्या था ये, अजीम को पूछूं ना क्या बनट वाला, आरसी वाला, क्या ऐसा ही कुछ रहेगा? तराजू वाला?
नहीं, नॉट तराजू वाला. पासिंग टू अनिर्बान.
Something GG boy.
No, passing to Thakur.
अभी तो अपन सब जितने फारसी सरनेम आते हैं पेस्तन जी, शापोर जी, पानवन जी, सब बोलते जा रहे हैं. Okay, whose turn is it? Oh, my turn. Okay. KV, can you repeat your hint? Sorry.
So eminent jurist, economist, and Parsi, and his ancestors used to work around palanquins. So his surname is from there.
Palanquin. So his surname is derived from palanquins. And we can't say palanquin wala. Palanquin को हिंदी में क्या बोलते हैं वो? It's like a carriage, right? Like a you carry पुराने जमाने में queens को लेके जाते पिट्ठू नहीं यार, क्या बोलते हैं उसको? पी से ये पोकड़ी नहीं, पोकड़ी क्या बोलते? पालकी.
Okay.
Palki.
So what's his name?
Is it Palki wala?
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
Mr. Palki wala.
Nani Palki wala.
ना.
Bro, please मुझे point मत दे इसका.
नहीं, मैं दे रहा हूँ. It's मतलब 5 पॉइंट के लिए चलेगा. इसलिए फर्स्ट में मैंने वो हिंट नहीं डाला. It is नानी पालकी वाला. Good derivation.
ब्रो मतलब अभी लिटरली तूने बोल दिया कि पैलिंक्विन और उसके अंदर से उसका सरनेम डिराइव्ड है.
इसका आंसर में कोई बजट और जज और ये सब
I have no clue. मतलब इसके आत्मे he must be turning in his grave कि साले मैं इधर बजट स्पीच दे के फेमस बन रहा हूँ, इन लोग पालकी पालकी से मेरा आंसर डिराइव कर रहे हैं.
नहीं, it's fine. As long as मतलब हमने ऐसा derive कर दिया, that's fine. And Palki wala was legendary man in Indian judiciary.
ठीक है, let's not get carried away also. But
Yeah.
legendary and all.
Yeah.
शांतनु क्विज के बीच में रोस्ट कर रहा है, वो भी मरे हुए लोगों का.
Oh shit.
Nana boy.
I had something emotional to share about him, but अब मैं नहीं कर रहा.
Please, KV bhai, please share.
No, it was like so he died of Alzheimer's, and so in the last few years of his life he could not speak things, remember things. And Soli Sorabji, another eminent historian, once famously said about him कि the man जिसके words और memory पे हम लोग सब proud होते थे, and today seeing him कि उनको खुद ही कुछ याद नहीं रहता is a very sad state of whatever. Let's not go there. It's fine.
नहीं केवी और बोलना इसके बारे में.
Just to balance things. Okay, Nami Palki wala is correct. 5 points to Varun. Next, direct to Shantanu. Okay, Shantanu, Teen Darwaza, as you can see in the image, was built by Ahmad Shah the First immediately after the foundation of the city X and completed in 1415. This gateway, as you can see, has 3 arches which led into a large enclosure, forming the outer courtyard of the palace called Maidan Shah in past, with a fountain and raised terrace in the center. These gates are also featured in the logo of this city's municipal corporation. Okay, which city are we talking about?
Amritsar.
Not Amritsar. Passing to Nishant bhai.
Ahmedabad.
It is Ahmedabad.
Nice.
Ahmad Shah the First, and hence the city is named after Ahmad.
मैं नीचे से बहुत बार गया मैं.
मैं आपका एक्सप्रेशन देखा था जैसे ही स्लाइड आया. कहीं इनको पता है. Yeah,
बड़े
it is
सरदार है यार गुजरात में.
Ahmedabad, and this is the logo of their municipal corporation, which features Teen Darwaza. 10 points to Nishant. Okay. Next direct will be to Anirban. Okay, Anirban. Kids who do not study well get to hear jibes like, if you do not do well in your studies, you will have to end up selling dash. And that is exactly what Venki did. Okay. Now this is Venki's word. Venki is Venkatesh Iyer. He's founder of something. He says, typical of most middle-class Tamil Brahmin families, my family also wanted me to study well and become an engineer, doctor, or a chartered accountant. Never did I imagine that I would end up being so successful just by selling dash. Okay, now let's look at Venki's life. Venki spent close to 15 years in the financial service sector, and armed with his experience of managing supply chain, franchising, brand building, fundraising, in February 2004, the first store of X came into being at Kalyan in Thane district near Bombay. And X has now grown to over 350 outlets across India with its presence in 20 states and 100 cities. Essentially, we are looking at a chain. Okay. I want the name of that brand, founded by Venkatesh Iyer, Venki. And first outlet was in Kalyan in Thane district. And there are other hints where he says that, my parents thought I'll study well, become engineer, doctor, chartered accountant. People used to say, jibes ki padhoge nahi to you'll have to end up selling dash. And I never imagined that I'll become successful selling dash. Okay, I don't want the dash, by the way. I want the chain that he started.
Chayos.
Not Chayos. Passing to Thakur.
Oh, ये Venki's chicken वाला है ना?
No, not Venki's chicken.
Oh fuck, really?
Passing to
You're saying the saying is if you don't do well, तू बड़ा होकर chicken बेचेगा.
अबे मुर्गी बेचेगा ऐसा कुछ तो होगा.
I think it's my turn.
Sorry, Shantanu. Yeah.
Is it my turn? I think vada pav बेचेगा. And is the chain Jumbo King?
No. Passing to Nishant.
Goli vada pav.
Beautiful answer. It is Goli Vada Pav. It is Vada Pav. Vada Pav was a good track, but the answer is Goli Vada Pav and not Jumbo King. Okay. Goli Vada Pav was started by Venkatesh. And
अच्छा और कौन बोलता है कि पढ़ाई नहीं करेगा तो वड़ा पाव बेचेगा?
बॉम्बे ऐसा महाराष्ट्र में बोलते रहेंगे. हमारा दिल्ली साइड में तो मैक्सिमम ऐसा मोमोज, अंडा ऑमलेट बेचेगा, अच्छे वाले छोले कुलचे बेचेगा.
ये बहुत पैसिव अग्रेसिव आदमी नहीं अपने पेरेंट्स को लेके. हाँ बेच रहा हूँ अब देखा कमा भी रहा हूँ तुझसे ज्यादा. डाउन तो बस कह रहे थे बोर्ड्स के लिए पढ़ाई.
Beautiful. It is Goli Vada Pav. But I'm going to give part points to Shantanu for Vada Pav. Okay. So I'm giving 7 to Nishant and 3
for
to
Goli.
because Goli Vada Pav was exactly what I was looking for, but Vada Pav मतलब वो फंडा भी था, तो शांतनु को 3 and Nishant को 7. Oh, very very exciting race for the second position. With that, we enter the last lap of the quiz, last quarter, last 4 questions. Since Nishant bhai got Goli Vada Pav, like bulk of the points, next direct will be to Anirban. Anirban, we go back to the city of Ahmedabad. What you see in the image is the Kankaria Lake in Ahmedabad. What I want you to know, what I want you to tell me is, what did this lake inspire in the world of finance? Okay, so in the world of finance, how do you think this lake is important, or where have we seen this?
SBI logo.
Yeah, it is the famous SBI logo. Okay, logo of State Bank of India was inspired from this. Okay. Okay, Anirban gets SBI logo. Next direct will be to Thakur. Varun, we are talking about the great grandfather of Nes Wadia. Nes Wadia, of course, is an Indian businessman who belongs to the Wadia family. The person we are talking about was a Muslim, and he was reluctant to marry his daughter, Dina Wadia, who was a Parsi, and allegedly disowned her after the marriage. Dina Wadia didn't travel to her father's place in court until his funeral in 1948. Just tell me, who is X? What are we seeing here is someone who is connected to the Wadia family, great grandfather of Nes Wadia. His daughter was Dina Wadia, uh, who married a non-Muslim and hence was disowned by the father. And another hint is Dina Wadia, of course, had a restrained relationship with her father, didn't travel to her place, her father's place until his funeral in 1948. Who is this person?
X.
So X is the great. अरे मेरे को नाम मालूम है इसका यार. Is it Neville Wadia?
No, passing to Shantanu.
Jinnah.
It is Muhammad Ali Jinnah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, dude, I got so confused. मैं क्या हद दिया यार.
Yeah,
मैं तो सीधा नेस वाडिया के ग्रैंडफादर का नाम बोल दिया. Sorry.
It is Muhammad Ali Jinnah.
क्या बात कर रहा है ये नेसवाडिया इसका फैमिली से?
Yes, Muhammad Ali Jinnah's daughter married into Parsi, which is ironic because Muhammad Ali Jinnah himself married a non-Muslim, a Parsi herself, and had a problem with his daughter marrying a Parsi. So वो relationship बहुत interesting है, Dina Wadia and Muhammad Ali Jinnah. When I said his place, I meant Pakistan. So she didn't travel to Pakistan until Jinnah died, and she went to his funeral to Pakistan. Dina Wadia. Okay, cool. 10 points to Shantanu. Now I go to Anirban. I'm sorry, Nishant. Nishant, this is your direct. I'm quoting a speech by Benjamin Disraeli during a banquet given to him in Knightsbridge, where he was attacking William Gladstone. Okay, let's look at the speech. He says, "Which do you believe most likely to enter an insane convention? A body of English gentlemen honored by the favor of their sovereign and the confidence of their fellow subjects, managing your affairs in 5 years. I hope with prudence and not altogether without success, or a sophistical rhetorician inebriated with the exuberance of his own verbosity and gifted with an egotistical imagination that can at all times command an interminable and inconsistent series of arguments to malign an opponent and to glorify himself." Now, the question is the part in the speech that you see in italics, okay, which is a sophistical rhetorician inebriated with the exuberance of his own verbosity. This part is familiar to all of us. We've seen it somewhere. How do we know this italic? Where have you seen this part, the part in italics? That's the question.
मेरे तो मन में पढ़ के जीभ दुख गई. कैसे पढ़ा आपने ये टंग ट्विस्टर इंग्लिश? हमारी हिस्ट्री हिंदी में थी, पता है? बहुत ही ऐसा टाइम पास गांधी, राहुल गांधी, मतलब बहुत ही टाइम पास गए.
No, not Rahul Gandhi. Anirban?
How is part of the quote familiar to us? As in, like, it's an event or it's like a concept?
Like I said, so I can't add any extra hint, of course, because Nishant Bhai has already guessed. But like I just repeat that we've seen this quote somewhere. We've all seen. I want you to tell me where have we seen this? How do we know this quote? Like this part of the quote.
मेरे दिमाग में what about रही है.
No, passing to Thakur.
So when you say how is it known to us? Is it as like I'm
जान
still
दे
not,
बे, जान
I'm just
पास कर दे मत कर
नहीं यार मेरे को सोच
आंसर दे दो
ब्रो पहले लास्ट वाला आंसर बिना क्वेश्चन बराबर पड़े दे दिया यार ये वाला थोड़ा समझ के तो गलत आंसर दू okay you know what how is it familiar to us? It's familiar to us when I have no idea dude.
Okay, passing to
No
Shantanu.
idea.
I think I'm going out on a limb here. I don't know if this is the answer, but I think it's connected to movies. We know it from a film. The film is Namak Halal. I think Amitabh Bachchan does the I can speak English bit, right? The one where he's pretending to know where he does the. So yeah, this is from a movie. Amitabh Bachchan said it in most likely the film was Namak Haram, or if not Halal. One of those two films, I think. The one with Om, or that Om Shiv Puri right up top.
Yeah,
Okay, so I think your final answer is when Amitabh Bachchan in Namak Halal goes and says, "I can walk English, I can talk English."
उस speech का starting ये है मुझे लगता है.
Okay, we'll take one more round starting with Nishant. The hint is Shantanu is on a very, very good track. Okay, Shantanu is on a very good track. So all of you think in that trick. Think of Indian movies. Think of Amitabh Bachchan. In fact, I'll give part points to Shantanu. And think of song. Okay, and we'll start with Nishant bhai.
तो कोई लिरिसिस्ट ने बेंजामिन डिज़रेली का ये
छाप दिया
उसका गाना बना दिया है.
If you hate Jews, you are called Disraeli.
वाह भाई क्या कर रहे हैं गुलजार साहब. ये कौन आनंद राज आनंद बख्शी गुलजार साहब लिरिक्स बाय समीर किसने
और वो भी वो गाना भी अमिताभ बच्चन के टाइम का है मतलब पहले है ना. यही ये आपने हिंट यही दिया ना. हिंट क्या दिया आपने?
हिंट यही है कि हिंदी फिल्में सोचते हैं गाने सोचते हैं और अमिताभ बच्चन भी सोचते
हैं. बंदा ये बिंदा से नहीं.
नो. Anirban.
Great crack by Shantanu. This is Anthony Gonzalez.
Yeah, great crack. Of course it is.
Amar Akbar Anthony.
Wait. You see the whole country of the system is juxtaposition by the hemoglobin in the atmosphere because you are a sophisticated rhetorician intoxicated by the exuberance of your own verbosity. The opening lines of my name is Anthony Gonzalez from Amar Akbar Anthony. Okay, great crack.
इसका lyrics किसने किया है भाई? वो जानना.
Akbar Anthony.
इसका लिरिक्स किया था ठाकुर कंट्रोल सी कंट्रोल बी ने.
But 5 points to Anirban for getting the exact answer. But I can't help and give some points to Shantanu. I'll give 2 points.
बनता है.
2 to Shantanu for getting everyone on the right track. But great crack. Okay, a last question. This is direct to Varun Thakur. This question looks very similar to YouTube comments on KVizzing With The Comedians. Because a quiz contest aired on Doordarshan in February 1967, in which participants could easily answer questions pertaining to Greek mythology, but were unable to reply to the question in the Ramayana, who was Rama's mother. Okay, listening to it, this person was shocked that Indian students could answer questions on Greek and Roman mythology, but were ignorant of their own history and mythology and folklore. Thus, in an attempt to teach Indian children about their cultural heritage, he started something in 1967. What did he start? So we are looking at late 60s where someone was watching something on Doordarshan and he realized कि इंडिया में बच्चे ग्रीक माइथोलॉजी और रोमन माइथोलॉजी ज्यादा बेटर जानते थे और इंडियन माइथोलॉजी की बेसिक चीजें नहीं जानते थे. फॉर एग्जांपल इन द रामायण हु वाज रामा's mother. So to teach and to spread more knowledge about Indian history, mythology and folklore and about Indian cultural heritage in general, he started something in 1967. Tell me what started in 1967 for this reason.
ये सौरभ EIC की बात हो रही है.
Was this Ramanand Sagar?
No, not Ramanand Sagar. Shantanu.
Amar Chitrakatha.
Beautiful answer. It is Amar Chitrakatha. It is Uncle Pai.
Good यार, काफी सही.
Amar Chitrakatha is the answer. 10 points to Shantanu. He started Amar Chitrakatha and we know what Amar Chitrakatha is. Okay, with that we come to the end of first quarter final. Let's look at all the scores and everything. Anirban had 45 after the first half. He got SBI logo and my name is Anthony Gonsalves. So 5 more points. He got 15 in the second half. And Anirban ends on 60 points. Okay.
नटराज एक बार फिर चैंपियन.
Nishant bhai had 10 points after first half. He got Ahmedabad 10 points and 7 for Goli Vada Pav. So 17 in the second half, and he ends on 27. Okay. Shantanu had 10 after the first round, but had a great second half. He got Lotus Temple 10 points, Muhammad Ali Jinnah 10 points, Amar Chitrkatha 10 points, and part points on Goli Vada Pav and My Name is Anthony Gonsalves. So he got 35 in the second round.
Wow.
And total of 45. Okay.
अरे almost.
Superb.
Thakur in the second half got part points for Nani.
Thakur in the second half got COVID again.
Falke wala ends on 15. The final scores is the two people who qualify from this round are Anirban Dasgupta and Shantanu Anna. Okay. Congratulations to Anirban and Shantanu. And of course, massive shout out to Nishant bhai. Had some great answers after that build up. You did get Ahmedabad and Goli Vada Pav, which was fantastic answers. And of course, great. Always fun to have Varun Thakur on anything.
Great. Good fun.
Thakur.
Take care, haldi have haldi and all.
Thakur ये वो है consolation, right?
अबे ये consolation भी नहीं.
Best actor in a white shirt.
Well done, boys. Congrats.
Yeah.
Anirban, Shantanu, well done.
Thank you.
Take care, brother. Recover soon.
Thank you.
Bye, Nishant bhai.
Bye.
See you.